Welcome to Chasing North, a podcast for purpose-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, and changemakers who know that real success isn't just about status, it's about alignment. I'm your host, Kristen Mack, business leader, lifelong learner, and someone who believes that the most powerful journeys are often the most personal. Here, we dive into real conversations with real people, exploring personal growth, leadership, conscious business, and the deeper motivations behind impactful success. Let's get curious together, because every path holds power and your worth is not up for debate. Hi, and thank you so much for joining me today on Chasing North. I'm very excited. Today I get to interview Mr. Patrick Lewis.
Ooh.
Patrick and I go way back, and he's just an icon in the industry. So, I mean, let's just get to it, because I'm sure everybody out there already knows about you and who you are and all the good stuff.
Sure, let's go with that. I feel like you got to use air quotes when you say icon. So.
Icon, he's an icon. No, Mr. Bowtie. So, what's been going on in your world lately? You've had a couple changes, like a few little things?
You know, I think there's nothing more than some adversity and change to really get the blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning of June, we had a little mix-up, some stuff thrown at us with our past brokerage and the franchise agreement and some of that kind of thing. And
some unexpected changes.
Some unexpected changes. And it really got the blood flowing. So the last 30, 40 days, we have essentially started to close down a brokerage and had to put all the infrastructure in place for a brand new brokerage, which we unveiled on at the end of July, Fathom Realty Elite, and
Fathom with an F.
That is correct.
Just in case anybody wants to
That
spell
is
it
not a
with
PH. That's right. So incredibly excited for the opportunities and incredibly thankful for the growth and the experience from the last 30, 40 days.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult when you're in it sometimes, but now that we've kind of crested the hill, I feel like we're starting to be able to see the light, and know that it's not a train coming at us.
Yeah.
And so it's been a beautiful thing and a wonderful adventure, and I think such a blessing in disguise.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's something that you learned about yourself through that experience that was a surprise to you?
Oh, man, I feel like it is something that I tend to relearn a lot about myself. And I think sometimes that comes with the imposter syndrome and everything is really that you are capable of so much more than you believe yourself to be capable of. And that it is opportunities like this diversity that creates those wonderful little inflections and time for you to be able to see that in yourself. And I think it also did a recentering for me as well. When some of this came down, there was a lot of panic, a lot of anxiety. I was fortunate enough that we went to with some friends of ours to a lake house in Minnesota for 4th of July. And sitting there on the boat, on the lake, underneath the fireworks with all this other stuff going on, and just being there with my family, and things like that. I think there was so much perspective that was brought for me of, my wife, my kids don't care, where I'm a broker or if I'm a broker.
Yeah.
It's that was stuff that I was kind of hung up on. And so it just brought a lot of really needed perspective on what was important. And that helped really focus me for the last 30 days of I am worthy of anything that comes along. It was also just a great reminder of what's important because my oldest is starting high school. My youngest is starting middle school. Like, I'm holding on with white knuckles to that as well, right? And that's the stuff. That's the important stuff. The rest of this, there's so many times in life that I think it feels like a sprint, and we have to remind ourselves that it's a marathon and get out of that sprint mentality and into a much more long-term thinking kind of strategy. And so there were, like I said, there was a lot I learned about myself, but just so many blessings that came out of all of this change.
Yeah.
So.
And so you guys had your big announcement
Yes.
about Fathom, right?
Yep.
And I understand that you had a little someone with you during
I
that.
did. Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So that goes back to when I was installed at the end of 2018, I was installed as the president for the Arizona Association of Realtors. And at the time, my youngest son was about 4 or 5 years old. And so during my speech, he came up on stage and literally just like mocked me the whole time. Just walked behind me, was just super goofy, and was literally the star of the show. And so ever since then, he has loved to be a part of those things with me. And, school had not started yet. And I said, I have this big announcement that I have to make. Would you like to be there? Mm-hmm. So he would have it no other way other than to be up there on stage with me. And I did say I do have my emotional support child with me up on stage because it was a lot of emotion, a lot of things going through, but it was, and again, that's the stuff. That's the memories for him, right?
Yeah, core memories for sure.
Well, and seeing his father in those positions and bringing him along to be able to be a part of it. I've said pretty much my whole career that someday I want there to be a Lewis and Sons Realty, right? And
yeah.
The only way I make that happen is, I think, by making them a part of these experiences now.
Sure.
So, but yeah, and then my oldest son was able to join us afterwards, and, my amazing wife was in the back of the room showing her support. So, to really make it a family event and a family, involve the whole family, it was the best.
That's cool.
The best. Yeah.
So what about Fathom? Mm-hmm. Because I assume you were probably checking out many options in your 30 whole days to figure this out.
Yes.
So what did you find out there? Why Fathom? And you guys have property management, so that limits you a little bit.
It did.
So just kind of take us through that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So that has been an interesting journey. For us as a co-owner, we needed things to align a little bit. We needed to have kind of a cohesive culture, and I think understanding of how we did things. We work very hard to be agent-centric and take care of our people. And what I have found is there are a lot of brokerages out there that are worried about their image first and foremost, which I understand, but their image associated with a price point. That's just not who I am. It's not really who we are. The majority of the business that's done in the MLS is done between 200,000 and 800,000, and so I think luxury is great and it's a great sector to be in, but even luxury agents, most of their bread and butter is that kind of middle of the road price point. Yeah. And then we were also looking for a brokerage that had a lot of tools that was really helped agents look better to their clients, make more money, just those were some criteria we were looking for. And so in discussions with Fathom, there are a lot of brokerages that charge really high fees for a lot of their quote unquote technology and things like that. So for us, Fathom was a great fit. They're culturally a good fit, very agent centric, very growth oriented, top 10 largest brokerages in the country. And so for us, it was just a really, and the tech tools they had, the tools that they have that are available, and they're not charging, 10, 20% for these tech tools. Those were the things for us, that it was good value for our agents, and that what agents need and their clients need is really top priority for Fathom. And so it was really kind of a natural marriage. And to note, just an idea of who Fathom is too, they don't do property management traditionally either.
Oh, no way.
But they know that we do it so well and have been doing it for so long, we will probably be a model for them nationally.
Look at you.
For
That's
property
awesome.
management. So, again, just a lot of lot of opportunities and blessings that came out of all of this.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And you're bringing the name to Arizona.
Yeah, so we're Fathom Realty Elite, which that is our own brand throughout the state of Arizona. You know, we have a little bit more autonomy. Traditionally, Fathom is run a little bit more corporate. We have our own autonomy here in Arizona, and now we have the entire state. So we are looking to expand into, you know, different parts of the state, and just again excited to bring the tools and the technology and the fact that, you know, we're affordable and things like that. It's just, I think, speak to also why we went with them, and what we're excited about is their attitude is, you know, it used to be that the agent worked for the brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of, you know, it started to shift a little bit towards the brokerage works for the agents kind of thing. But we believe the future is agents and brokerages in partnership, working together to accomplish things. And so that's really what we're oriented towards, is having plans and tools that I think enhance and can help that kind of a partnership. Because as things change, as technologies change, I think it's really tough to go out there and try and do it on your own. And so more of these partnerships, more of these opportunities to work together, I think is really the future.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's interesting because there's so much change happening right now, and just the advancement of AI and technology and all of that. I mean, don't let me start playing with it, because then I'm going to waste, you know, hours of my life, because I just love it so much and it's so helpful. So with those types of tools and that type of integration, you're changing the way that people experience working with the brokerage. And I think that's huge, because the old blueprint doesn't work anymore.
Correct.
We have to start evolving. And so what I heard was it was alignment, right? We had to be aligned, but then also, like, my time and my people, right, are valuable. And you started this conversation by saying, I am worthy. And it's like, yes, you are. And so is everybody else. So I love that. I just love that so much.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And, you know, and if you haven't read it, The AI-Driven Leader is a fantastic book that, you know, as we talk about AI and things evolving, the opportunity for agents to show their humanness and enhance that is really going to be, I think, the winning formula moving forward.
Totally
in this new world is not AI replacing me. It's how do I, just like, you know, when social media first came out, everybody's like, oh, everybody's just on their phones. And, well, then you're not understanding social media. The point of social media is to use it to bring other people together.
It's to connect.
It's to connect.
Yeah. We all need and want connection.
Exactly.
And that's, you can connect with people that you've never met in ways that you can't imagine.
And so AI can enhance your ability to connect with your customers, with your clients, with your fellow agents. There's so much there. And so, you know, Marky Lemons, who's a national trainer on AI, things like that, she always said something that just really sticks with me, and that is, you as a realtor are not going to be replaced by AI, but you are going to be replaced by a realtor who knows how to use AI.
Correct.
And so that's a lot of what we talk to the agents about is, you know, this isn't going to replace you, but what an opportunity for you to enhance and sharpen your message and make sure you're connecting with your clients and enhancing those relationships.
Yeah.
That's really the benefit and the beauty of those things.
Hours of my life saved now with all of these tools and technology. And the more I explore, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much, I can do more of it, right?
Yes.
Like CapCut and Gamma and just all of these different apps. I mean, when I go out and talk with agents, I'm like, who's using AI? And they all raise their hand, and I'm like, put your hand down if it's only ChatGPT. And like all the hands go down. And like, you guys are missing it. There's so much more out there. Let's talk about it. I'll sit with you, like figure out ways that you can integrate that into your business, because it's so helpful. And you can do the thing you need to do, which is go connect with more people.
Right.
and write the contracts and do the things, negotiate. Like, there's your value, right? The other stuff you can sort of fix and forget. I don't want to say that necessarily, but it can cut down on that time so much and give you that back.
Well, and so many agents in content creation, lead generation, things like that. I mean, it can help you in those areas to organize, to focus, to, I mean, for me, I am ADD, right? I am squirrel. And so it's tough sometimes for me to really mentally sit down and in my head, I've got to wrangle cats, to try and get, okay, this is the project that I need to do. Let's think and get this project done. Whereas now I can use AI kind of as almost a creative partner to help hone in on that. And sometimes for me, get there quicker.
Yeah.
Then it frees up a lot more of that creative space and time. So, I mean, it literally gets some of the minutia off my plate.
Right.
So that I can go and do the things that I am stronger and better at.
Yeah. And that you like doing.
Right.
I mean, I got to tell you, I love giving presentations. I love connecting with people. I love educating and sharing knowledge, creating the outline, and then the material, and then the slide deck and all of that. It was like hours and hours and hours of my life. And now it's like, okay, here's kind of an idea I have, and AI will spit out a presentation, and then I just tweak it.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
I just love it.
Or even as a realtor, right? I'm sitting there, I'm writing a blog post, and I'm trying to address and think about what are things that first-time home buyers are concerned about, or what are the things that keep a home seller up at night. And now the ability to go on to AI and say, give me 10 things that a first-time home buyer is staying up at night worrying about.
Yep.
Right? And now, and granted, they may not always be correct. They're not always the right 10 things, but you can tweak it. But at least it gives you a jumping off point to be like, okay, what are the pain points that these consumers are feeling? And how, through my practice and my business and my presentations, can I help ease those pain points? How can I help demonstrate that I am here to help them?
Yeah.
Through this connection, through this time that I have to build this relationship. So the opportunities that it gives you to sharpen your skills, I think, are endless. You just can't be afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting, I just learned this, and I don't know if you know this, but do you know the top 2 sources of information where chat gets it?
Do tell.
Reddit and Wikipedia.
Interesting.
Now, people are on Reddit talking about all the things. So that's great. And if you know that information, you can go back to it and go, okay, I'm learning what my people are saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, these are people out there on Reddit having these conversations. So yeah, that's the number one source. And then second is Wikipedia. And I forget what the other ones are.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that's why it makes up really weird facts and quotes and things, because it's people-generated information.
It's wrong sometimes.
Exactly.
Right? If you ever ask it about Arizona real estate law,
oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Please don't.
I do it all the time, playing
because
around.
it will just make up statutes.
Correct.
Oh, that statute, yada, yada, yada. I'll go and look at it in my law book, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. But, so, there's obviously limitations and things you have to look at there. But overall, just a great tool. I mean, even for something like this, right, to be able to use something like Opus Clips that uses AI and will cut up your video or your podcast into 10, 15-second easily postable clips onto social media.
And it will do the text on the bottom.
Right,
you'll get your transcript.
Yes.
Yeah, there's several apps that will do that for you.
So, like, the ability to use AI to literally take, a 10-minute video you did of yourself at a home and make it into something. These are ways that you can use it to bring efficiencies to your business.
Staging.
Yes.
Check it, though, because sometimes it's a little weird. We used some AI to kind of make headshots for some of our employees, and we were playing, using our images first to make sure they work. And there's one of me that I have 3 arms.
Oh, I love it.
And I was like, I really want to put this on my business card and see if anybody notices, first of all. But second, explains why I get so much done. I have 3 arms.
This is true.
But it was
true.
like, oh my God, I have 3 arms.
I
That's
feel
so
like if
weird.
you could like Photoshop that into, past photos, that would be amazing.
Like here I am with my 3 arms.
Right. That's right.
So weird.
Here we are at the wedding.
Yeah. So
My-
when you do those things, just always take a peek because sometimes things don't look quite right.
Yeah, AI is not one of those things where you just want to do it and post it.
Correct.
There definitely needs to be like that middle area where you're vetting what you're putting out there.
Yeah. It's like you've given a project to someone that maybe doesn't have as much experience, and then you get out the red pen.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, that was a really good try. Here's a few improvements we can make, right? Yeah. So we're going to just redline this a
Exactly.
little bit, and then we're good to go. Like remove one of the arms. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a little ad for our episode today.
Yes.
And we have for those of you that are watching, you already see it, but anybody that's only listening, I've got a bowl of fun. So if there's ever a question I ask you that you don't like, or you're just bored with where we are, you can reach in and pull out a question. It's a question that you can answer. It could be a question that you ask me. It may be something that you need to act out. It's all kinds of
Was I too quick with
fun.
this with selecting
I don't know,
one then?
but
All right.
anyway, if you want to do that, you can.
Oh, I'm in. You know that. So this is a wild card and reverse.
Oh, okay. So you're going to ask me.
So tell me the title of your autobiography, no more than 5 words.
That's a good one.
I think I got mine.
Oops, I did it again.
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
no. Hold my beer and watch this.
Okay.
Hold my beer and watch.
Okay. I like
That's
that.
only 5 words. Yeah, hold my beer and watch.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Chaos in a nutshell. I feel like I feel like that.
Little fitting, especially lately.
It just it seems to, maybe that changes eventually, but right now it feels very suiting for an autobiography.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
I love
A friend of
this.
mine, she, do you Wordle at all?
Of course.
Okay, so she Wordles and do you do it in hard mode?
No, because I'm not a psychopath.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying.
just saying some people play in hard mode. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just played a game, right?
Yeah.
So she plays in hard mode. Wow. And we were just talking, and she's like, you know what? That'd be a great name for my autobiography, My Life in Hard Mode. And we just started laughing because she's like, I put this pressure on myself. I don't have to do that. Why would I do that? Why am I making myself do this?
Yes.
When I said, well, it might save you from doing a thing because you can't use a letter that is a different spot if it's already in the right spot and that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was just very funny. But she's like, that's mine. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but she's totally right.
I get that. I almost feel like mine could be the enemy within sometimes too, right? Because as somebody who has, I think, dealt with imposter syndrome and stuff like that for a long time.
You're the only one.
No, yeah, right. The things that we are conditioned or have been conditioned to tell ourselves. And it's a conversation that I have a lot with my kids all the time is the conversation you have with yourself here, no matter how fleeting you think those words are, whether you mean them or not, they matter. And I cannot express that. I say it to agents all the time. Even if you are just, my 11-year-old said something the other day. He goes, I'm so stupid. And we just stopped everything.
Yeah.
And just had a conversation about that. I hear agents say it. I hear, just full-on adults say it. And I'm like, no, it's not true. And you can't say that to yourself.
Yeah.
All of these things are such opportunities. And if you are not looking at them as opportunities, they will beat you down. Or if you don't have a support system who can
To
help
smack you around, yeah.
right, to help you realize their opportunities, you will get beat down so quickly. And then in this business too, it is sometimes can feel like a very isolated business. That other voice in your head can make or break it sometimes. And you just have to be aware of that conversation you're having with yourself. It is so, so, so important.
Yeah. And I think I love hearing that you're doing that with your children and having those conversations, because I think we come from, like the latchkey era where both parents were working. We got ourselves home, got our homework done, made our snacks, did all our stuff. We were very independent.
Right.
And now we're raising our children to be a little different, but we're also giving them, at least this is what I'm seeing in my circles, we're having those conversations about mental health and positive mindset and all of these things that we've done because we've done the work. We've had to do some searching in our little hearts and minds and bodies.
Yep.
And we're learning that there's a better way, and we're teaching that to our young people, which I love. I can't wait to see how they move along through the world. I mean, it's just, I think it's going to be really powerful.
It's the best. I mean, in fact, right now, my oldest son has his student government interview.
Oh, wow. I was in Stugo.
Right? And I was like, why do you want to be in Stugo? He goes, when I met those kids, they were so confident, just the way they spoke. He's like, I want to be a part of that. And so he literally he goes to Arcadia, so he made AHS Titans out of origami.
Whoa.
And put it on a board and then drew some things. And he's just taking that as just something to show of being creative and positive and school spirit. But, I just love that he's even wanting to do that, right? Those are things that as a kid, I don't know that I would have gone for.
Really?
Just, for a long time, the leadership skills and the confidence for me, I was a late bloomer in life.
Interesting.
And
tell me about that.
Yeah. So full honesty, I didn't finish college, and some of that, stuck with me in my own mind.
I carry it with me every day.
Right.
So,
that I wasn't
where'd you go to
good
college? Where'd you graduate from? I didn't. The School of Hard Knocks. That's my answer now.
I had an amazing 2 years at NAU. I'll tell you that.
They were so good.
They were so good and taught me so much. But, but it's okay, right? I've learned so much from all of that. And I don't remember where I was going with that now. But
about your confidence?
Oh, yes. So, and so having put some of that aside and being able to quell the voices, and I'm just saying, if you suffer with imposter syndrome, do things that get yourself help with that, because it is a problem. And I will tell you, one of the best books that I read was Brene Brown, and it was
Dare to Lead.
No,
Atlas of the Heart.
No, it was, I have
it
in my head right now. The Gifts of Imperfection.
Got it.
The Gifts of Imperfection. And one of the things she talks about in there is she gets in front of this crowd and, things didn't go well for this speech, and that we all get into these shame storms. And so she's in this shame storm. And one of the things that she said was pivotal was shame hates company. And so when you're feeling that shame storm, when you're feeling, just at your worst, that's when you have to be careful about who you invite into that space, but that's when you have to reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
That is when you have to, because shame hates company.
I love it.
And that was such a pivotal thing for me. First of all, to realize that I wasn't alone in experiencing all of this, because I think as an adult, you feel like, man, who else is feeling? All these people have all this other success. Look at this.
I see them on social media, and their life is fabulous and great and beautiful.
They have no
couldn't
doubts.
Possibly suffer from the voices in their head like I do.
And then you start to be vulnerable, and you start to have these conversations with other adults, and you recognize you're not alone. And then when you read things like, The Gifts of Imperfection, and it's like, man, shame does hate company. And when I'm feeling that way, not only do I need to go and talk to somebody, but I need to go and help others. Because helping others, that will get you out of that funk and that mindset faster than anything else.
Yeah, I love that. And really with the shame game, I mean, imagine being someone who decides that's what you're going to study.
Right.
That's what she does. I'm going to
Right.
study shame.
Yeah.
And I love it because I've learned so much from her, but I mean, like Mel Robbins, and I listened to Know Thyself podcast.
Yep.
So Andre's amazing.
Yep.
And he's had Peter Crone on. I mean, I'm dropping names like crazy,
Yeah.
but these people have been so impactful for me to learn more about that and know I'm not alone, but also how to like navigate it. Like what should I do to make those things shut the hell up, right? They're wrong. It feels true, but it's not. And how do you move through that? So
Yeah. Well, and then the stories that we tell ourselves, and the it's amazing what I call it emotional quicksand.
Yep.
The more you struggle, the faster you sink, and you gotta find that vine and pull yourself out of it somehow, because you're the only one that can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start wrapping up, but
Cool.
anyone watching also sees that we have a fancy magic 8-ball.
Yes.
And so our listeners, we have an 8-ball here. And Patrick, what is that?
This was one of the greatest gifts that I have received. And as we said in the beginning, Kristen and I have known each other a long time, go back a long ways. I also go pretty far back with her husband, the amazing
Mr. Richard Mack.
Mr. Richard Mack. And so, and we have these wonderful things called Mackisms. And really, Kristen created this custom 8-ball that just has Mackisms, both Rick and Kristen's.
And Tiffany.
And Tiffany. And we got some Hobgoods in there too. So I love that it is just, for instance, I asked, how was the podcast going to go today? It answered me, Rick shrugs, YOLO? Which is so ironically appropriate for this. And it sits on my desk. It is what I use to make most minor decisions in my life.
I love it.
And it has brought me so much joy in the time that I have had it. I cannot tell you thank you enough.
Oh, I love it. So, and the way that happened was we stopped by to see you.
Yes.
And Tiffany and I did.
Yeah.
And you shared what was happening
Yes.
with the transitions
That's right.
that you had, because you had just found out, or maybe
It was
a
probably
little
that
bit.
week. Yeah.
And so we left, and I'm like, we have to get him. He's going to have to make a lot of decisions soon. And I have this crazy idea. I wonder if I can get a customized magic 8-ball, and we make up all the answers.
Oh, I love
And I went right to Etsy, and there it was. And it took 2 weeks to get here from Hong Kong, but hey, so.
But it got here in
It got
time.
here.
And again, I think it's just another wonderful example of the internet shall provide.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I think for me, and this is sort of what I really am focusing on trying to do, is connect with people. I think we all as humans, we're desperate, not desperate, but we need it. It's life-threatening.
Yeah.
We need connection. And when I am with someone and they're sharing something, and if there's something that pops into my mind where I could maybe make them laugh or have some fun or, look at something a little differently, I want to try and do that. And so I'm really trying to remember those things and pay attention. And I think the lesson I'm learning is it is so powerful to connect. And then when you remember something like that, it makes you unforgettable. So I think even for anyone in sales, real estate agents, managers, leaders, I think that just pay attention.
Well, and I'll just say, and it's something that I have been working on for myself, because I am not great at it. My wife is great at it. You're amazing at it. Is being empathetic of people, and that emotional intelligence is so valuable these days, especially. But being empathetic and being able to look at somebody, or to be able to give them something, and to be able to say that I see you and I hear you. There's so little empathy in this world today. I feel like that is such an extraordinary skill set, to be able to combine the empathy and the emotional intelligence. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful gift that you have, that Tiffany has, and that I continue to work to learn from. So
you're growing.
Every day trying to be better than I was yesterday. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think with the going back to the imposter syndrome and kind of where this all started, I think if you're not feeling that, I don't want to say insecurity, but that uncomfortable feeling inside when you are going through those things, that imposter syndrome comes from, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing, or maybe I don't think I'm capable or I'm qualified or whatever. It means you're growing.
Yeah.
If you don't have that kind of butterflies in your stomach, excitement, like nervousness, then you're probably not growing.
Right.
And maybe you don't want to, but for me, it's like, I don't want to sit still. I want to keep pushing.
Well, you got to go to the gym every day, right? And it's got to be something that you're working on every day. It's not one of those things where I'm going to go to a 10-hour seminar and everything's going to be better.
It's all perfect.
It's all perfect. That's just not how it works. And so it is. You got to go to the gym every day, and you have to find ways to have that. And I think don't mistake that nervousness or that self-doubt, because everybody has that. Everybody has that. I think it's more when you're telling yourself a story and you're telling yourself a narrative that hasn't happened, right? You got to concentrate on what is so. I used to say I've had many problems in my life that have never happened.
Correct.
And that is from the stories and the things that I have told myself. And that's really, if you're finding yourself in those positions, that's when you got to reach out and ask for help.
Yeah. Well, and that comes from because you're in the past.
Right.
That's the only lens that you have to filter things.
Exactly.
And so, is this real? Why am I feeling this way?
Right.
Is this life-threatening? Is this happening now? And if it's not, bye.
Yeah.
Because that's all we have is right now. And you can also get yourself worked up into a lather thinking of things that may happen in the future.
Right.
And so I find when I'm in those moments where I'm worried or stressed or whatever the thing may be, I'm bringing in past experiences and I'm pushing them to the future, or past expectations for the future. It's like, just be in the moment, Goofy. You're going to be fine.
Well,
just don't take it so seriously.
What is so now? What is real now?
Yeah.
Let's not go into, oh, well, this might happen or this might happen and this, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of things can happen, but what is real right now? And if you can interrogate reality like that, man, that is so powerful in helping you understand and just calm the emotions, right? Because so much of our emotions are wrapped in what we think is going to happen or what has happened. And so the more you can contain that and really get some self-control over that, wow, it's so powerful.
I think that is an awesome spot to end this conversation. Any last words or anything that you want to leave the audience with today?
Oh, well, what I would probably say just to anyone is believe in yourself, love yourself, and do what you need to do to show up for yourself. That is one of the most important things that I think you can do. If you are in real estate, or you are a realtor right now, I am just going to speak really quickly on the consumer is the center of our transactions. And in everything we do, we need to put the consumer and our clients and their needs at the number one priority. And sometimes that is where some of us are falling down. And that is where we have to recenter our profession right now into really focusing and caring about our clients and being empathetic and having emotional intelligence into what their needs are. So
I love it. All right. Well, we'll make sure to include all of your information so people can find you, because I have a feeling people may want a little Patrick love if they're having a down day.
Love it.
So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Chasing North. And before I sign off, I do want to thank our sponsor, North Star Title Agency. They are amazing. They believed in me and they are allowing me to do this, and they're sponsoring the show. So if you're in the real estate industry and you're considering a title company, please consider North Star Title Agency. We're guided by you. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Have a great one. Thanks for joining me on Chasing North. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd share the episode, leave a review, or pass it along to someone who'd be inspired. Until next time, keep chasing alignment, trust your path, and remember, your value is non-negotiable.